Hey everyone, how are y'all doing? Let's see, who did I see? Goodness, I didn't expect. It is so good to see all of y'all. And my mouse isn't working and I'm having a little bit of issues. Mm. So if I don't see your name, it's because I can't get up to it. I know I saw Meat Puppet Indie, Random, William, Frog. Hello everybody. It's good to see y'all. Tonight I have Gigi up here with me. What's up, Gigi?
Oh, shoot. Hang on.
Hi, Sharon. How are you?
I wanted to have a little fun, but it's that hot flash.
Oh, Lord.
Lost my mother and I lost my beard. Oh, look at
What
that.
did you call that? I remember that now. Karen.
That's why I didn't see it in the other places. Like, I was running around. Mind you, it only took me a minute to do this, to grab this. But
Wasn't it?
Arkansas.
Arkansas. Thank
Canuck.
you.
Canada, Canuck. So it was because I remember Arkansas, his name, Arkansas Living. And I'm like, Arkansas, I like that. Canuckansas.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that. I'm Canuckansas. I'm the cousin of Gigi. How y'all doing tonight? I thought I'd take away some seriousness talking tonight before we start. Kind of goof it up a little bit.
Indeed, thank you for dropping that link.
Oh, great! Okay.
I want to see a pretty Canadian. There's the link.
Oh, I guess I should put my little background on. Oops. Where's my settings?
A different Gigi. Is there another Gigi? Okay. Sorry about that. Yes, I have my granddaughter, so there could be a little bit of
Hi.
No, he's not drunk, Frog. That's normal Gigi. Hi Bruce, how are you?
That's because I got, but what do we figure? 200% energy, everybody runs at 100. I run at 200. Been like
yes,
that
or
since
more.
I was born. Them hot flashes just don't flipping help either.
Anorexic, Yosemite Sam.
There we go. Au natural. You can't tell what I look like. Hey,
okay.
Sorry.
So, you want to jump into it or?
Well, I was running around. I was trying to think, should I just kind of say something, or have you got an opening kind of idea?
So, what happened was, Gigi mentioned last week, wasn't it?
Yep.
Doing back and forth with me because we have some different views on things.
Exactly.
And so she's going to tell her experiences and where she gets her life advice, and then I'll share mine. Just don't do something, stand there.
Bedtime tea. Caramel bedtime tea?
So,
are we sure that's tea? Sorry.
The first thing I want you to mention is what you mentioned a while ago.
Oh, our little friends around us?
No.
No? Okay.
The Bible.
Sorry. Sorry?
About the Bible.
Okay. Yes, because...
Hey, the cat. Been a minute.
It's just... Oh, hey, everybody again. Yes. Actually, since growing up, my parents, neither one were very well, I should say that. My father was an atheist. My mother had a belief before she came to Canada from Germany, and then because she married my father, she just dismissed it all. Um, I put myself into Sunday school at one point because my next door neighbors were Italian, Catholic, whatever. And I loved all the things we got to do as a kids, but when it came to Bible time and going into the church to listen, I had so many questions that when I came out of there, I came more confused than anything. Always been a questioner. Now because my mother used to like reading Eric von Daniken books way back then, we're talking 70s, 60s, 70s. Those who have any clue on Eric von Daniken, he's written books about other species that have been on our planets and all the proof that's out there, like all those, how do you describe them? All those pictures
ETs.
and whatever. Yes, we're getting there. So I already had that belief in me of that there's more out there. I saw a UFO already at the age of 8 looking out my window one night. I've also had the experience, this is probably going back about 8 years ago, of being in a group, and I had an ET beside me that night. I had some other interesting things happen that night, long story. But they are definitely all around us. They always have been. They're here to protect us. We are part of them. They are part of us. Those that think that we're the only planet out in this whole system, hello. That's like zero chance. For one, also two, no nukes will be allowed to go off on this planet ever again. They have already, I'd say in the last couple of years, stopped probably 10 of them that have been trying to shoot off certain things, and they will not allow it. They are here to help us. Something like that goes off on our planet, it has a ripple effect throughout the whole universe. We are all energy. We are energy on the other side. We decide to come here and have a physical life to experience what it's like not to be perfection, because on the other side, we are perfection. We are 100% love. If you want to be able to see the other beings that are around us, you must raise your vibration, your higher vibration, your higher mind, which means stop fearing everything. Stop being negative. Stop talking negative. Try for one day, just one day, and see how many times you catch yourself being negative and cut it all out. When you start looking at everything and let everything just slide and this is its natural state, go with the flow. Stop being angry all the time. Go follow a super passion in your life. Do something that's making you happy. Never mind all the garbage around in the world. Make your soul happy. We are here to learn. This is our school of earth, and I've believed in that since I was a kid. It's for whatever reason. I've always been the weirdo, always been the different one. I also brought my tarot cards with me. I also brought my pendulum with me in case we want to talk about that. Yeshua, as he prefers to be called, he's not supposed to be worshipped. He's supposed to be followed by example. Be like him. Raise your vibration. Love everyone around you. Accept everyone around you. Agree, no hate, no anger, no whatever. He didn't exactly heal the people, but because those people believed in him so highly between his energy and their energy, they were able to heal. We are so much more than what we are, and it's coming. We're all going to wake up to this.
Okay. One of the things you mentioned that it was what I meant was the Bible not being or being added to or taken away from, not correct.
Right.
And so my view on that is it doesn't matter. The Bible that I have had all my life and read to me have read myself is the word that I go by, and I think that it is the intent that you're using when you're doing that. If you're sitting there having doubts about what you're reading, you're not going to get anything out of it. You're not going to get that spiritual knowledge that is there. And so I'm sticking to that.
I fully agree. There is a lot in the Bible that is really good. What bothers me is the stuff they've all left out. Constantine dropped the Bible, as they say, on a table. Whatever fell off the table, he chopped out. So half the Bible's missing already since then. Why? Why can't we look at this? I'd like to see the actual original Bible before it was translated friggin' 50 times. I want to know what it says.
Meaning has to be meaning all the words and even your words.
Sorry about that.
I was trying to catch what he's saying.
And I know that people have said there's like 700 books missing, but okay, but I don't know about those. I don't know what's in them. Does anybody? I mean, it's like, so what, how does that affect my life here and now? It does. It's like, okay. I mean, I'm hearing all these things that people are saying, and it's just, okay, but what is that going to do for me right now? Thank you, Eric. Love you.
And say Blackwatch, yeah, the Book of Enoch. Yeah, there's one heck of a chapter. That's a good
Yes.
one. That's a good one. But they're just so sneaky. I shouldn't say sneaky. So many things have been twisted. Like, stay away from. I don't think it's worded as witches. I can't remember. You know, we've had this discussion because way back.
Okay. Right. And
Yeah.
so, would you call yourself pagan?
No, I would consider myself, I guess, a Gnostic because I don't believe in a religion per se. I believe in God. I believe we are all a soul and that we're all here to experience because that's what God wants us to do. He gave us free choice, free will. We mark out a path of options before we come out here. We lay it all out and we want to try to get through all of these things before we go back home. And then the first thing we do when we go back home, we look at ourselves and we look at our whole entire life and how we behaved. And for example, say somebody terrible comes into your life and kills somebody. The atrocities that follow that family, like say, for example, I guess myself, if I was somebody that negative, I will look back at everything and how that affected everybody and every little ounce and trail of it. So be a better person so that when you go back home, that you've lived a good, holy, nice, fulfilled life kind of thing, you know, be your best self.
Okay.
But I don't like the fear part that, oh, if you just do this a little bit, you're going to rot in hell for it. No.
No, I don't believe in that either.
No, exactly. To me, that's the control part of when Jesus was around. They took certain parts of what his teachings and they put them into this category and went, well, he said this and this and this. No, you twisted some of that. So that's where I'm going.
Yeah.
You know, because
so I can understand the go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I can't. I've got a 5-year-old taking
Oh. Hi, how are you?
it was something you just said at the beginning of all that. Goodness gracious.
Sweet balls fire.
Dad, I know you have a lot to say, because, and a warning to any of y'all that are new, Gigi will flip into 20 subjects in 20 seconds really quick. So try to keep up.
Sorry, yeah, I did that again, didn't I? Oops. Yeah, forgot that already. Okay, slow down. See, now I what? See, why? Okay, wait a minute. See, now I'm reading chat going. We absolutely should judge. We are called to go to a brother privately. And no, why are we judging each other? We have no right to judge each other. The only person you should judge is yourself. That's it. God's not judging us because God gave us free will to come down here and learn things. He's not going to judge us because he's absorbing everything that is being learned in the whole entire universe. Everything that is going on is everything. We are connected inside, outside, everything. You start learning to meditate in the right way, yeah, you can connect to other zones and other things. You know, you don't need to just sit in your little home. You can experience things we've been sat on too long and told we can't do this, can't do that. Yes, you can. Everyone can.
Well, and so that comes from the confession of your sins. And Lord, I have. So every night when I pray, I ask for forgiveness of all my sins, because I know that daily I'm doing something, I'm sure. I have hurt people unintentionally, absolutely unintentionally. And so that's what Gigi and I had talked about doing this, but I didn't hear from her. And so that's what I was going to get into, was the behavioral part of humanity. And so that's why the title is People Like Us, but it can be people like us, any kind of people like us, whatever people. We're all people, and we're all here together to discuss what we believe or don't believe, or our views or opinions, and they're much appreciated. And I'm not going to disagree with anything any of y'all say, but I am going to say what I believe in that could be different from what you believe.
For sure. And I'm not one of those persons that's going to get upset because somebody doesn't agree with me. You know what I mean? Like, because everyone has their own life path. That's what we all have to realize. This is your life path and this is mine. Doesn't mean we can't get along. That doesn't mean I have to change you, or you have to change me. Our interaction gives us a viewpoint of both sides. That's what, life and creation is all about, learning and taking from bits and pieces of everything in your life that you go through. It's all emotional and everything that you just can't experience when everything's perfect on the other side. And I shouldn't say I've been there, but I just like to say I have felt the hand of God kind of thing. It's the only way to say it, with the energy, the whatever I felt, and woke up straight out of my bed. And I'll never forget it, because if that's what I'm going home to, if it wasn't for life and having to go through it, I'd say, okay, take me out now. Gone. I'm good. Like, it is beautiful, is love times a million, billion, trillion, zillion, whatever. There's no. So anyways, I do listen to NDEs. I do follow a couple of channelers. I do have people that I know in my own area. I know people who have had connections with ETs. I can say that as well. They were actually involved in having to close up a energy hole kind of sort of thing, apparently at one point 20 years ago. But So yeah, life is pretty wild if you just open your mind to being open. Don't just have your mind zooming down one road and don't look at the other paths. You gotta look at everything, the whole span of it. There's so much creation out there. Follow your passion. That is such the big thing in life. Follow your passion. Love everyone around you 100%. Stop fighting, stop arguing, and we're finally going to get to that in the next few years. These wars and all the other crap and the high leaders are going to go. So that's what I'm looking forward to soon. But anyways, sidetrack. Oh,
I don't believe in sorcery. Sorry.
I don't either.
And kiddos, Chuck said it best the other day. I can't repeat it, but yeah. They should not even exist. However, that could happen.
It's yeah. and that's what I mean, that's the whole problem. I want to call it a problem. That's the whole thing about life. Like the little circle of yin and yang. You have to have the positive and the negative. You can't experience things without the negative. If we all came down here and life was absolutely perfect and nothing ever went wrong, how would we learn and expand ourselves? How would we be more creative or more loving or more anything unless something has done something to you to react to? It's the emotional and the intellectual working things out down here and having an experience.
Right. That I do believe that you can get into things that will bring in a dark spirit into your home, whether you want to call it a demon or I just when someone really negative or I don't know, maybe they're sinning a lot. I don't know what it is, but when someone comes in at certain times, me and my girls have noticed that there's a bad energy in our home. That it's like a darkness. It's negative. It's felt by all of us. And so then that's when I do the oil
Right.
anointing and cleaning house, and then it's gone. And so I know that we have the power to dispel those evil spirits.
Now, sorry.
And thank you for your input. We're on the same page. And
yeah, because that's clearing out a house of negative energies, yes. But those negative energies are usually from the people that are living in the house, not necessarily from an outside source. Could be from an outside source, but those cases are a lot smaller usually, because even if say you and your partner have had a huge argument or whatever else, yeah, you should clear your house out, because that energy is going to hang around, kind of thing. The thing that Random was saying, that is, I'm sorry, and I will apologize, but this is my own thing. You do not need to believe, not even the word believe, well, you don't. Okay, I'm going to put it in a different way. I'm sorry?
You're not here to change everybody's mind.
No. I want to put it in a different way. If that is the only path to get to the other side, then what about all the people in this world who have never heard of a Bible, never seen a Bible, There's Aboriginals. There's all kinds of people everywhere that have never had a Bible and never even heard of a Bible. So that is telling me that those people aren't going to cross over to heaven just because they haven't seen a Bible and don't know who Jesus is. That's my argument. Okay,
Hey,
next subject.
Anne asked me a question. The oils I use is olive oil. And I have been taught how to make a holy water. And I use it all. My daughter is, for whatever reason, believes that sage, burning sage, works. I'm allergic to it. And so
Oh, no, really?
I have to leave my home when she starts anything like that. So it's usually me doing in because I just it works. I
was gonna say that you have to sage your house. What you would have
yes.
to do is you have everything closed, the windows and everything else. You sage your house, and then give it a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Then open all the windows and doors or whatever else, and air it out, and then you can go back in. That's the
And
only
see,
you can it right.
that's my house is a new house, and so it's well, it's not new anymore, but I mean it's I bought it and put it here. So but when I bought the property, I will say that there was an old swing set. So the property that I bought, there was a daycare sitting here for years. My two youngest daughters stayed at this daycare, and I went to high school with the owner. And so we're looking at it and we're deciding what we're going to do because that daycare had burned down, and the all that was left was the front porch. It was a rock and cement front porch with a metal overhang. And so I was like, oh, this is going to be a great barbecue area. And so this old swing set was at the back of the property, and it had two swings on it, and there was no wind blowing. It was hotter than hot. And one of the swings started swinging, and we all saw it, and we all looked at each other. And okay, so my thing is to even pray over the land, and even go as far as asking permission of any that had been here before. I live in an area where there were a lot of Native Americans also. And
sure.
we found a lot of relics. And I, I've seen poltergeists. I don't know that I'd go that far, but maybe it's possible. And so if I just want to make sure it's not on a burial ground or something like that, something sacred to someone in the past, because I do feel that, well, I know that you can get you can feel it. I just don't know how else to explain it. You can feel it. But
the best, easiest way, if you feel something around your house or in your house, whatever, you can also pour salt around your whole entire house.
the prepared Irish,
apparently
yes,
some could do
salt
too.
in a circle is one, and so my hometown, that I'm not in my hometown where I grew up as a child, but my hometown, you can tell the difference. And when I moved here, when we would go back to my hometown, because that's where my mother is, you could feel a difference. And I knew that they were having satanic rituals out in the middle of a cedar break somewhere. And there was a lot of, how do you explain it? It's like, it was like moving from Babylon to,
No, I hear you. Land can have negative energy around depending on what's going on around it, whatever. And especially if people are doing that kind of thing there, that's definitely not helping.
I can't even keep up with chat. I keep talking.
I know I've been kind of reading everything too. It's been interesting.
And
Yeah.
so, where was I going with that? It's like, I can't keep up with y'all's comments. I'm sorry. If Gigi, if you're able to read them and talk more power to you, I can't. It'll take my mind off of it real quick.
Well, I haven't really found anything that I have had anything to. What? So many.
What I was say is that I've had experience with demonic entities, and I have lived in homes. I rented a home that it had 3 stories, and when me and my children were living there, we were sick the whole time. I don't know if it's because it was kind of across the street from a cemetery, and because the water would come out of the faucet sometimes brown.
Okay. Well, I was just gonna say, now, was there anything going on in the house? Or it was an old and moldy kind of thing?
No, it wasn't moldy. It was old, like back in the 50s. The back of it didn't have any windows, and so in the back there was a projector, and there were benches. And back in the 50s, they used it as, well, I guess it would be a walk-in, not a drive-in movie theater. They would show movies on the back of that house. And so a lot of people had lived in this house. So, but while we were living in this house, I did see.
Sorry, Indy just said John's son posted the. Oh.
A video. Oh, thank you, Indy. And I can't get it. But anyway, I did see a woman come down my stairs, long white gown or dress or something, with a gold medallion, brown hair. I could describe her to a T. Like 6 years later, there was another family that was living in the house, and the daughter drew a picture of what she saw, and my friend called me and said, "Get over here and look at this." And it was the same exact, even the medallion detail was all there.
She probably passed in a tragic way, and she's stuck there somehow, or for whatever reason she doesn't want to leave.
But because of the us being sick, and so the shower and everything was on the 2nd story, and it got to where I was like crawling up the stairs, couldn't even walk up the stairs. We were at the doctor's office. We spent a fortune at the pharmacy trying to. The doctors couldn't even figure out what was wrong with us. And you know, at first it was a flu, but a flu doesn't last months and months, and so it.
Oh, for sure. You kind of sounds like you had one of those, like, and no kidding, an Amityville horror kind of thing where there was just so much negative, whatever crap going in there. But yet, coming in might not have no issue with it, right? It's just, it's bizarre how that works.
At that time, I was going to a non-denominational church, and I had the pastor, and there was another lady that was really good at discerning spirits. And so I had them all come to my house, and I was like, something's here and I want it gone. And so they came in, and first they wanted to do a walkthrough. And so they were doing that, and The third story, I never went up into the third story. There were 2 bedrooms up there, but we occupied the first 2 floors. And then after all this, I did rent out the third story because there were some people in need. And but so the lady that could discern spirits, she was walking through the bottom half, and she said, I don't feel anything here. It's all good. And then we got to the second floor, and she was walking around, and she was like, well, and I'm thinking, no, this is the floor that my kids all sleep on. And
Right.
then she said, what's through this door? And I said, that's the third story. And she opened that door, and she just kind of stepped back, and she said, okay. And so then she said, can we go up? And I said, yes. And so we all went up, and she said that something had happened in that house, but it wasn't really, really bad, but it was enough that it was felt. And so then they anointed the house, cleared everything out. But anyway, the house sold, and so we had to move out. But the people that moved in after us, the first lady that bought it, she committed suicide. And then the next family that bought it, the one with the daughter with the picture, they had a boy also, and he committed suicide. And so it was like,
Wow.
yeah, that's what I thought too. And so
Yeah.
I know that
Could be
there's
random coincidences, but at the same time, yeah, I don't think so. That there's something going on. But that's, I mean, yeah, negative. Yeah, at this, yeah.
but I'm just not real sure about the. I mean, I have seen some odd things, like you were talking about other beings
Mhm.
out there, and I can't grasp that. I don't know.
See, for me, is like even way back when, it's like I've just known. I've just known, and I just knew I did just my
London.
because when you sit there and look at so much evidence around the world of different stuff, how can you deny because some stuff is so unexplainable, you go, humans did that? Well, but now at the same time, we are also finding skeletons that are 10 feet tall. Proof of a taller generation, way thousand, hundred, whatever it is, years ago. We have gone through so many different scenarios, shall we say, on the earth for different experiences. We've all lived numerous lives. And I think at some point over the next few years, people are going to start finding themselves remembering stuff or starting to open up different ideas because the solar eclipse that we had, and we'll just say some other things that are going around, it's all pulling in some can say God's energy and love, whatever, positive energy, whatever, but it's wiping shit off the earth. We are all, as people on the earth, are to a point where I don't want to take this anymore. Like our gas overnight just went up from $1.50 to $1.80. It's like, what the heck? Like, come on. Oh, summertime prices. Are you kidding me? Come on. Like everything is run with just such bullshit. It's not meant for people anymore. We're all standing up. It's going to go more and more and more and more and more. And this year coming is going to be a year of change between Putin, Trump, and everything else, a whole bunch of stuff. But anyways, everybody's worried about it's the time of what they call in the beginning, not reckoning. What do they call it, Bonnie? We're gonna. It's the end times. What's the word I'm looking for?
The rapture,
Yes, it's the rapture, and if you're not on the right side or the right whatever, and all this, and the divided, and whatever, the world's not going anywhere. We're not going to blow up anything. We're going to continue on, but there's going to be a lot of changes coming, and if you're not ready for it to a certain point, then it's all going to be on your attitude and too. But people are going to be more humane to each other. We're going to start letting go of all this racism crap and everything else, and start, we are all the same. We are all connected. We are all having a life experience, and that's what Jesus was trying to say. Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. He was forgiving all the people that done him wrong in his lifetime. That wiped the slate clean. To forgive and love is the ultimate of everything, because then there's nothing negative left. There's no guilt. There's no, just love. Experience love. If you put love into everything you say to a person, that's why I guess I like customer service so much. I deal with so many people every day, and when somebody comes up and starts getting snarly or whatever else, I just find a way of being able to say something nice, but whatever, in a way back, and they just kind of look at you, just like, have a nice day. Why not? Might go up and cheer them up, right? Like, why not? The more we put out a positive, the more we stop talking bad about ourselves and other countries and whatever else, and realize that we're all the same. We're all on the earth. We're all wanting to survive and get better and be creative and whatever. And it's coming.
Thank you, Dorinda. I just went to my phone and emailed that to me, and so we'll show that in a minute and see what his son posted. I would like to see that.
Go ahead.
I would. Right now?
Sure.
Okay.
Why not?
Let me see if I can get my mouse to work. I don't know why my mouse is having troubles tonight. Darn mouse. Let's see. Well, why isn't it here?
Yes, Frog, we are inside the basis of us all. We are the same. We're just in just different physical bodies. And that's what we all fight about. Oh, they're brown, they're white, they're yellow, they're this, they're that. Oh, it's this religion, it's that religion. No, it's this religion. We're all fighting about this stupid. It's like, we should not be fighting about all this. It just drives me crazy. Sorry.
Well, he is right. I mean, there are people that we've seen it. Death to America. Sound familiar? It's we know that there were.
Sorry.
They're not all friendly, and
well, no, and that's not what I mean either. Sure, yeah, they're like the Hamas group, and there's terrorists this, and there's that. There's bad people all over the world, unfortunately. But we also can't group them into just the nice people. It's not like all Chinese are bad, all Americans are bad, all Canadians are bad, whatever, because of this, that, and whatever else. It's all individual, whatever. But the more we think positive and accept each other for our differences without fighting about it, that's when we're going to get somewhere.
unbelievable. What is happening? I am refreshing my email. I've sent it to it twice.
Okay, let me see if I find it.
You know, I lost my glasses for 2 days, and I had to enlarge my email so I could read it. And now the dots are gone for me to. Oh, wait, I think I found some. There we go. Maybe The problem is I have it too big. Okay. No, it's still not
Oh, I
coming
got
to
it.
me.
Okay. He put it on John's thing. So okay, hang on a second. I got it.
Channel.
Yeah.
You got okay.
Yeah, hang on.
Ah,
Okay, you got that? Take random's thing off the screen so it doesn't block it.
yeah.
Right.
Um yeah. Well, you know how you just took your glasses on the front of your dress or blouse or whatever you're wearing? I had done that. And apparently I took the dress off with the glasses. When I went to do laundry today, I found my glasses because they were still hooked to the dress. But so now I got 3 pair. So
Oh,
I've got
okay.
backups. I'm all tuned out.
I was gonna say, oh, I want to use my pendulum to find your glasses. That's what I did for a girlfriend of mine. She lost her glasses, and I found them for her. That's
With
funny.
a pendulum.
The what?
Okay. With a pendulum.
Yep. Because I made a little drawing of her house floor, or like I asked a few questions, and then it was saying it was on the second floor. So I drew a map of the second floor with everything in it and put the pendulum over the spots. I'm like, oh, well, it says it's on your table here in the corner thing. She goes, yeah, I don't think so. I'm like, well, and you go home. Yep, sure enough. She went home and there they were. They were sitting behind something, so she couldn't see. She was walking by them all the time.
Okay, here it is.
Okay. Time's up.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This video is going to be pretty hard for me to make, so y'all please bear with me as I try to get through it. Y'all don't know who I am. My name is John. John is my dad, so I'm sure he's mentioned his family on here at some points, so I'm his son. The reason I'm making this video is on April 16th, 2024, my dad, John, he passed away at about midnight. So I'm pretty sure he had mentioned on this channel before that he had had cancer, and I know he talked about when he was finally cancer free. That was last year when he was cancer free. So about July of last year, somewhere around there, um, his cancer came back. I don't know if he mentioned that on here or not, but it did come back. And you know what they say about cancer when it comes back? It usually comes back with a vengeance. And that was no different with my dad, and that's how it was. Came back with a vengeance. Um, he was fighting very hard, but he just couldn't fight it hard enough, I guess. It's just life, you know. Um, so the reason he made this channel is because he liked to teach people things. He liked to show people things. So that's what a lot of the videos on here are about. He just wanted to show people things that he knew how to do. I know most of them were cooking videos, but there's a couple on there that aren't cooking. Um, so if you enjoy this channel, it's not going anywhere. It's gonna stay here. It's as long as YouTube is up, and as long as YouTube doesn't take it down, the channel will be here. I'm gonna keep it up. Um, I'm not a YouTuber. I don't think I have it in me, so I won't be posting videos. This will be my only video, more than likely, on this channel. But I wanted to make this video to let everyone know what was going on. Because I read through some comments and stuff, and people were kind of wondering where John had been. And he had been fighting cancer. So, he fought to the end. And that's all you can do. No one lives forever, you know? I don't know how long I was going to make this video to be. It might be really short. It's probably about to end right now. But maybe I'll have something I can think of to talk of here in a second. But he really enjoyed his YouTube channel when he started it. And he really enjoyed making the videos. And as of the time of me making this video, he doesn't have 1,000 subscribers, but I know at one point he hit 1,000. And he was very happy about that. So he really cared about all y'all who subscribed and watched the videos. So I wanted to make sure y'all knew that too. Like I said, this is really hard for me to do. So I'm probably just gonna end it here. I think I just about covered everything. That cancer, man, I tell you, it sucks. But what are you gonna do? You know. I want to thank everybody for watching his videos and continue to share his videos because that's what he wants. He wants people to watch them. So, and if you're new here and this is the first video you're seeing on this channel, that's pretty sad. But go back and watch his other videos. They're more happy and lighthearted than this one is. So yeah. Rest in peace to my dad. He was a good man. And thanks for watching.
Wow. God bless him for doing that.
It's actually the first time I've cried.
I did. Yesterday it hit me. Oh, sorry, y'all.
I keep thinking about my birthday. He did that harmonica thing. So it was hilarious. I'm kind of kicking myself for fucking delete my channel because there were so many good things on there that I should have kept.
That's why I'm glad I have them all still.
Oh man. I tried to even
Go
get it
back
back too, but I had to have the link or whatever. I was like, how the hell do you have the link to your channel after you deleted, you idiots?
He knew that. See you.
I still have
no.
sorry. Navy vet, darn onions, yeah. I'm all stuffy now.
It's hard. I mean, we built so many friendships here, and when we lose one, it's just such a reminder of how precious life is and how we do need to treat each other kindly, and because you never know.
I know I look back at myself since 2020 and what has happened from 2020 to 2024. talk about
Mhm.
learning so much. Just my mind is blown kind of thing. I'm that's the weird thing too. So I've never had grandparents or cousins or anything like that. So I really haven't had a lot of losses. So I was like, I know all these people. This one dies, that one dies, that one died. Now this one died too. It's like, okay, it's kind of starting to hit home. Piss off. I don't like this. But at the other, but I have to sit there going in my head and go, they're the better one. They're the lucky ones. They're back home on the other side. They're finished their life path, whatever it is they had to do. And that's what we've all chose. And we cry because we're the ones that miss them because
Yeah,
they're gone out of our lives and we can't connect with them again until we're back on the other side. But if we all
right.
started meditating and we all started raising vibrations and stuff, we could.
Well, I don't know if it's
I'm
that.
gonna blow my
My
nose. I'm muting.
okay. My grandmother um, was my rock. My mother was not, and so I was very close to her. And she got cancer, and uh, it was tough. And but and I always thought she was immortal because my family lives into their 80s. We had an uncle that celebrated his 101st birthday that everybody went to, and um so loss has in that way has been um not not a lot of it in my family.
Mm.
Um so I told her, I said, will you please let me know that you're still with me on the other side? What was it again?
Mm.
And um at that time we were living in an apartment, and we were all sitting in the living room watching a movie together, me and the girls, and I heard the bathroom sink running. And I went in there and I was like, why is the bathroom sink running? And I went back in there and I said, which one of y'all left the sink on? And they said, oh, we haven't been in there, Mom. And I'm like, um, how did it just turn on? And I had to physically turn it off. It was like the handle had been turned on.
Yep.
And so for me, that was my sign that she was still with me.
Yep. They're always
And
giving us signs, paying attention. Yep.
the weird thing is, she passed on the same exact day my youngest grandson was born.
No
And I
coincidence.
always wondered,
It's no coincidence, Bonnie. That's just it. There's no coincidence. People have to take
yeah,
that word out of there. Everything happens for a reason. They do that. It's like my husband's oldest sister. Um, okay, so there's 5 of them, and it's like a 2-year thing apart between everybody. Every 2 years there was a kid. Um, so she was the oldest. She left the house at 17, 18, and went off and married this person. Um, and not to sound whatever, um, into the church and whatnot. The parents, I get, her mom and dad, Sterling's parents weren't churchy people, but she came across this person and fell in love, and the way she went. But I guess through the years she had a bit of an attitude, I'm better than you attitude from what I gather from the family, whatever. Well, as fate has it, when Daddy died, he died on her birthday. And some make it laugh. Oh, well, she blah, blah, blah. No, he passed on her birthday to say, I love you. People always take the negative over the positive kind of thing. Even though through all thick and thin, that was his way of, you know, going through this. And when I met her, I loved her. She was great. I guess those other years of whatever, but when I met her, I'm like, oh my God, you're just awesome. And da, 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 da. So it's once again, everything's about life experiences. We all have a path. We are all choosing to live and learn and figure out love, hate, and everything else,
Yeah.
Oh, Israel's launched an attack again. Are you kidding me? From what I'm gathering from listening to some
Conservative cowboy, good to see you.
it's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting year because from what I'm gathering, what's his name? Benjamin Netanyahu. I always have a time saying that name.
I'll just call
Uh,
him Yahoo.
He's apparently crossing the line in numerous ways. He's going to get in major trouble. And Putin's got to go. He's going to drop dead.
Aren't they all crossing the line? Our president
Yeah,
is
that's just it. See,
making threats that he thinks back.
Sorry.
We are at war. We are at war.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if anybody realizes that our soldiers are there.
Yeah, I've got on my husband's side, a nephew that's in the army and that too. It sucks. But that's why we have to look at least it's not like back in the day when millions got killed. It's like drone after drone fighting each other. It's weird. It's such a weird time. We've got to get rid of, and this is what bugs me. It's like build the bombs, build this, build that, build that. Well, if you've got them, you're going to use them. Why can't we get rid of them all? If we have no bombs, no nukes, and no whatever, maybe we'll actually sit down at a table and try to talk to each other. Like, hello, communication. This is what drives me with the phones too. People get hit and killed constantly because they're too much with their face on the phone. It's like, okay, this is just getting sad. What's happening to our society?
It's funny that you said that. Because I have mentioned, can't we all just talk to each other and get along? And have been listed for that because it's first of all, we've talked about the countries that hate us. It's impossible for them to. Well, and who would it be? It would be our leaders, and we see where that would go. So, I mean, there's not a person up there I would trust to talk to foreign country leaders in as our voice or for us. It just no.
Well, I agree. That's what I mean. A lot of these leaders are going to be taken down because they're all crooked. Show me one that isn't a crooked person, please. No, but at the same time, we all agreed to sign up for what's going to happen. We all do things for the greater good of everything. It's not pretty. It's definitely not pretty. But
well, that's the thing is, to me, just from watching these other countries on TV. Of course, that's all we see. It could be propaganda. It could be, I've seen pictures that they're using now that were taken in 2017 or I mean, we've all seen how they portray it to us however they want to. And But um,
But see, that's kind of one of those things like, yeah, you want to know what's going on in the world, but at the same time, you don't want to engulf yourself in all of it, because when you do, it's bringing you down. It's all negative. You're making it your world. If people started doing more things creatively, doing something every day to be more positive, think positive, that the world's going to change and that the wars are going to end and whatever, instead of all sitting on the edge of their seat going, oh my God, what are we going to do? Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. We got to put in full positive thinking forward. That's how things will change in that underlying kind of energetic way.
well, but okay. Comedian.
Oh, FYI, I have he come home, so I'm not sure how long it's going to be before he comes outside. Could be 20 minutes, could be 45.
Okay. So y'all are, yeah. Okay, that's what I was going to say. Even with our differences, Canada and America, it, you know, everyone has always thought of Canada as weak people, and I'm telling you, they're not a weak people. They,
We're
but
laid back,
all of
eh?
it, for whatever reason, have compassion, empathy, and care about people, care about humanity, period. And I don't know if it's because of um, being raised without all the control that the other countries have, or if it's we just have stronger values and morals, or we used to. Um, I don't know what the reason is. I just know that. So having that, they think of us as weak, but you can have that and also be
Have
on
a
the
good night,
ready
Ann.
for
Sorry.
anything and everything. Um, she said she's still going to be watching both. Thank you, Ann.
And thanks to what you said earlier, your sweetheart. Love you. And I'm sure I speak for Bonnie too.
Yes.
This is for something she wrote
You know,
earlier.
it's the whole thing of what they're throwing at us. They're just throwing more and more at us to try and set us off. They're trying to, I mean, look how many months they talked about CW. And it's like they were trying to push us into that. And my question was, with who? Excuse
Well,
me. I mean, the last one was between the North and the South. And, but, so,
you can't
I don't
divide the
know.
states right perfectly in half. It doesn't work that way, but the states are going to end up divided in a certain way eventually with this red and blue argument.
And that's where that needs to go. They're both bad. I
That
don't
reminds
care
me, I'm sorry for interrupting
what.
you. Have you felt any of the earthquakes in the last week?
No,
Interesting, because I watched the earthquake. I don't know if I watched the
I
earthquake
know
thing.
2 of them just went off in West Texas this evening. And
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
I haven't.
There's been a couple of them. I'm like, that's weird. But I have noticed since Taiwan had their earthquake, and they've really been kind of
Mhm.
watching the global thing. That whole ring around from going around, say, British Columbia coast, around that Alaska, how that kind of curves, going down and kind of hitting around Japan, and then it's Taiwan, and then it's the other ones, and they just had an earthquake. There's something's going along up there, and the prediction, and this is why I'm like paying attention to it, because there's a prediction of some kind of island, some kind of earth or something, Atlantis, they say, or whatever it was, but something's supposed to rise. And if something rises in that area, the prediction is that BC and Japan are going to get flooded in on the coast. I'm like, man, we need for a ride in 2024 if this is true. Just saying.
See, but I was wondering about that. Wasn't it, I think I was talking about that the other night, last year or something. I remember Diamond Lil really worried about Maine because that's where she's at, and a volcano going off that would cause a tsunami that would hit our East Coast. And as far as I know, that hasn't happened. And so that's where, when you keep saying you got to stay positive, it's like, maybe it's not so much staying positive as just keeping your eyes and ears open and seeing if these things are really happening, because they're trying to create as much fear as they can. And
And if you fall into all the fear, that's where they've got you. If there's one thing I learned after the last few years with that conspiracy and the whole whatever, some of the things happened that were true, this, that, whatever else. But Bonnie, I tell you, in all my life, the things I went through, the things I thought, the things I believed in, and then finally regained and whatever, like, holy. That was a ride, man. Holy moly. Just, yeah. I can't believe some of the things that I believed in or started wondering and whatever. I was like, man, I actually believe that. Thank God it's not true. Like, wow, we are so sucked into everything they want us to suck in. The government, all the negative arseholes, shall we say, some want to say the Satanists, some want to say the whatever, just the egotistical people that don't care about anybody else but themselves and the almighty dollar, and all the little people below can go blah. They're all going to go away, and they're all going to go where they belong. It's that time. Get out. We're fed up with the way the whole system is on the earth. So,
well, what I was trying to say is that is you want to be aware of what's going on, but you don't let it cause that fear. Don't let it take control.
right.
And that's where, as Christians, our spiritual beings, whatever name they want to give us, is you have that faith. You know that we have to have faith. It's
right.
it's by the grace of God that I'm here right now. Exactly. I know that. And
God created everything. Yep. See, we agree on God created us, but God gave us free will. This is where my question goes forward to everybody else. They argue certain things, but it's like, but God gave you free will. If you do something wrong, it's you that's going to get judgment and pay for it and whatever else. You don't care. Absolutely. He's like, here you go. Run free and run wild. If you're going to go and shoot people, yeah, you're not going to like what happens to you.
And not all prayers are answered.
Yep.
And we know that, though. We know that we are making a request, and whether it's answered or not, it's not going to change how I feel about God or my beliefs. I'm still going to stand strong on them, no matter the outcome of whatever. But it's with that faith that I know we can stand against this evil that has taken over. And I know that as a people, we are strong enough to get through this. And that's one of the things that I was going to talk about tonight was, behavior. Because when you have somebody that is telling you, oh, it's done, America's done, it's gone, you know,
Yeah.
it's
What a
like,
pessimistic attitude.
am I going to accept that? No. This is me.
Yeah.
No, I do not believe that. I believe that the American people will come together eventually. I know that they are trying to divide us in every way possible. I know that they are throwing in all this crap that is against everything we do believe in, and they can just keep doing that. But as a whole, I know that most of the Americans are against whatever.
Right. Right. That's why, that's the hardest subject I had in college was statistics. I hated statistics because I was sitting there going, so you're going to tell me because of one little trait, I have to believe of what the results are and whatever else. You could do that chart 100 times. You might not get the same result. It's so variable. I ended up dropping that subject in my second year. The teacher had written a book, and all he did was basically spew what he had written in his book. I'm like, you're not helping me understand this, but yeah, yeah. In any case, what?
Wow.
Oh, yep. When are we going to stop fighting and blowing each other up? Man. But see, that's just the thing, too. You got to get rid of the crap that's around, too. There's so much of it. I mean, as much as I don't like war, Hamas is buried in all kinds of tunnels and this and that. And, how else do you get rid of them?
Remote, it's so
But,
good to see you. We've been keeping you in prayer and hope that you're doing better.
hey, remote.
Yes, and that is so true. The enemy is flooding over. And that is, I think, what would be the CW. I think that it would be the Americans against, because I think that just from seeing what some of them have said to these independent journalists that are walking around filming all of this, I think that they have a plan. And it's possible that they would be the ones to rise up against us.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. We've gone through so much, even the last century, and we're all so fed up with fighting and the negative and but more and more people are just standing up to this and going, when we gotta stop, and then yeah. We're just at that spot, aren't we?
Well, see, you call it negative, I call it evil. It's the evil.
Well, I mean, you can look at it that way too. There's
That's
good and bad, yin and yang, good and bad. So you could say positive, good and evil. Yeah, you can. I don't know. I guess I have an issue with the word evil because it sorry, it automatically makes me think of a horned guy and whatever else. But what I've something really intrigued me with let's just say something that I listened to, and I thought in an energetic way that kind of makes sense. So Lucifer was cast out of heaven because Lucifer wanted to become incarnated on earth. He wanted to become human. Well, you can't do that if you're a god. You can't incarnate on the world.
He was jealous of God. He wanted to be God. Yeah.
Well, he wanted to experience what all the humans wanted and whatever else. So therefore he's stuck in limbo. So what it is his negative or anger, however you want to call it, encompasses the earth in a layer. So
God
some
gave
people
him
are,
reign over the earth.
sorry?
God gave him reign over the earth.
Right. He was to watch over everybody as the earth was growing, right? Like I said, this was from somewhere else, and I kind of went, that actually makes quite the sense to try to understand it in an energetic or whatever way. So if he was an angel and he was sent to earth to watch how humans are growing and take care of them, whatever, over however millennia, whatever, he wanted to experience what the physical reality like everybody else did, and he wasn't allowed to do that because of his vibration. He's, up there. He's supposed to be staying up there. He's not supposed to want to go down there and experience a negative, whatever else. He wasn't allowed, and he couldn't come down to be physical. So he's even more upset, angry energy, negative energy. So he's stuck in that inner whatever space. So that negative energy goes and is encompassing the world. So therefore, that's how people feed off of that negative energy kind of thing, because he wants more to be like him. And it's the separation of positive and negative again. But it's also what each person wants to experience when they come into physical life in this world to experience things. Do I want to have a negative life so I know the difference of what it's like to be all loving and all negative in a life form and come back and realize, wow, I've just grown so much because look at what I learned by experiencing that. I come to earth and everything's perfect in my life, I'm not going to learn a thing. I'm just going to go back up and go, wow, okay, well, that was fun. I didn't learn anything from that experience that I've been given by God. Okay, I shut up now.
What am I to
anything. I don't know how it is. I just kind of go in a flow and just start, and all of a sudden I go, okay, shut up.
So my belief is, um, it, um, I don't think of Satan as just Satan. I know that there's a lot of demons along with him, and so to me, it's just a darkness, and it is a choice. That's why we have free will. Is we have a choice to follow either one, and
Right.
I think that his purpose for wanting the earth was to take control of it. He couldn't be God in heaven, so he wants to be God on the earth. And that's
a possibility. I hadn't thought of it that way. All I know is he wanted to experience what he was envious, jealous of what humans were able to experience on the earth and physical, whatever. And he wanted to experience that. Yet if you're supposed to be perfection and, the angel and whatever, why would you, So I can kind of, you know what I mean? I feel like I can almost relate. It's like you're just all supposed to be loving and you're watching the earth and doing everything right, whatever else. But as you're watching, you're going, wow, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. Oh, I'd like to kind of experience that'd be neat. But you should want that because you're perfect. If you're one of God's angels, you're supposed to be perfect. Why would you want and crave that?
well, you can try to be perfect, but
I'm saying if you're an angel, he was an angel of God, correct?
yes.
So therefore, if you are one of the angels of God, you're supposed to have that higher vibration. You're supposed to stay in that positive state. And after, who knows how long he was supposed to be watching over humans, whatever, it could be a couple of billion years, I don't know. And at some point, he just kind of went, oh, I really want to, wow, they got to do this and they got to, I kind of want to do this. I'm kind of, no, you can't do this. You're this. So yeah, the envy and the jealousy and the negative and the whatever, all the negative attributes, I guess, came along with it. right? That's where it's cast out of
Yeah.
heaven. You can't be in heaven with those negative attributes that you just grew from what he experienced.
Mm. That's, I mean, God loved him.
Yes.
He was right there beside him. And so um I don't know. I mean, just imagine that. Like, we think of him as our father, and so it's like a father casting out his son.
Right.
Does that stop? I don't think it ever stops. And so it's so imagine if Revelation is correct, having to do that to everything you created. That's where I get confused in Revelations, is why. But then if you look at the things that have happened before, and that's where the fear of God comes in, it is what he can do. We've seen the destruction of cities, the destruction of everything with Noah and the ark.
That's where that's kind of where I want to go. That's still, see, from what so the Noah time and the waters. Okay, so no, that's the wrong way of doing it.
Because the angels came down and had relations with the humans, wasn't it?
See, and that's where this is where I'm going. Oh God, some people are gonna go, what the fuck? Okay, so we have to go back to way back when the Bible was all getting written up, and when it was all getting at certain points. I'm not saying the whole Bible is incorrect, by no means, but there are certain things that had been manipulated to control the the masses. That's the word. And what bugs me is it's all the fear. It's always the fear of, there should be no fear of anything. God doesn't want you to be fearful. God
No,
wants
it
you to
says
be
that
right.
365 times in the Bible or something like that. Are you okay with me allowing discussion on panel with others?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because I know that we had agreed to do this.
Oh yeah,
Just
no worries. We're good.
Meat Puppets can explain some. Hey, Carol,
I know
good to
somebody's
see
gonna blow up at me sooner or later.
you.
Oh,
No, we're
I
not
gotta
going
get
to allow
headphones
him
in.
to blow up. He's going to be calm and
Oops,
friendly like he always is.
I'm just looking for my headphones.
But I need to go for a second. I will be right back. Oh, there's Meat Puppet. But I want to hear what he said. Can y'all
So to,
say
to
hello
answer,
while I come right back?
yeah. So what? So what?
Hang on. I gotta
So
untwist my headphones. Hang on.
no, you're good. Take a minute until your headphones.
Hello. Okay.
Hold that
Okay.
thought, Meat
So
Puppet, until I come back.
fine. Hurry up. Lucky for you, I'm driving and I got my hands-free headset, so you're in luck. or you'd be in trouble.
Or I was gonna say, or else what?
She'd be in trouble.
Oh goodness! I
But,
told her this would be amusing.
Well, no, it usually is. But I just wanted to. There was a few things she didn't explain it.
Is this Marty? Who's Marty? I'm just reading chat. Sorry.
No, you're good. I posted in there. I was looking on Telegram. Apparently, Iran has been attacked by Israel at 9 different
Yeah.
locations.
9 different locations. Holy crap!
Yep. And there's a speculation that it may be part of a 3-pronged attack. So there's a good chance if that's accurate that business is about to pick up. I think.
Why do we gotta fight, eh? Why does there gotta be war all the time?
Because people have a fallen nature and they're afraid of what's different, so they'd rather just fight with them than try to make things work.
Yeah. Yep. But we have learned a lot in the last 50 years, haven't we?
No.
Some of us.
Now, people over the last, I don't know, almost 6,000 years since creation, pretty much have stayed pretty much the same. The only thing that's really changed, people more or less in general are the same.
It's like, shh.
Okay, I'm back.
Good thing.
Hey, because I need a minute. I'm having a hot flash. I'm
Either.
listening though.
I mean, you crack the window, but then you'd be cold and have to.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so anyway,
I'm black. one.
yeah, clearly. Oh, we got, who's the B logo?
Black Watch. That's Black Watch.
That's who?
Black Watch.
Black Watch. Okay. Well, so anyway,
Yeah.
as far talking about that, Noah's flood, that actually happened. That every every civilization in the world has some kind of flood story. That's not a coincidence. And if you there have been studies done across the entirety of the world where there's this massive deposit of layer of coal, animals and plants, more or less, that's been compressed over however long it takes to make coal. And they think they haven't been able to 100% confirm it, but they think they found the actual ark, Mount Ararat over in Turkey, up on one of the on the side of the mountain, but they haven't been able to 100% confirm it, or if they did, they haven't released it that I know of. I could be wrong. What was oh, Revelation, that's right. Yeah, you were talking about Revelation or something you didn't understand.
Because, well,
So what don't you understand? And then I can give you an
I
answer.
said, well, you already did because, well, I did after thinking about it, because I said, Revelation is the destruction of everything, and why would you destroy what you created? But
it's more judgment than destruction, but there's a lot of stuff that gets destroyed through said judgments. Because the church in Revelation, the first up to the end of chapter 3 is basically the letters to the churches, which is a description of the different ages, I guess, if you will, like the church age or the whatever, the different periods of time up until the final one before the final 7 years for the tribulation kick off.
Right.
Because after if you've taken time to look at or even just Google search, excuse me, the church, the believers who have accepted Christ as their Savior and follow that path, not religion, not just
Right.
that have the personal relation to follow Christ. They're there in 4 verse 1. After that, they're not there again until the end of the 7 years, around chapters 19 or 20 somewhere. That entire 7-year period, the church is gone. They are not there.
Yeah.
And basically, my understanding, and some things I might have right, some things I might have wrong. So don't take my word for it. Go look it up for yourselves, and you can read. But the church, the way I believe that, because there are different opinions about when the church comes out, but if you can rightly divide and read the scriptures as intended, it comes out with the church disappears first, and then it basically allows the beginning of the final 7 years to kick off because of the chaos of all those people disappearing all at once, all across the world at the same time, including. And then you start seeing the one world government, the one world religion, and all the judgment that takes place over that 7 years that destroys a third of the land. I think at least a third or a quarter of the ocean. And just all kinds of crazy stuff that happens over that 7-year period described from chapter 4, verse 1 through the end of, I think, chapter 19 or 20 in Revelation.
Warnings to the churches of times and places for their indiscretions. A warning. Y'all know
Yeah.
me. I just believe.
Yeah, those the churches. This is what you did right. This is the one thing you did wrong. You need to correct it. Kind of thing.
Right. I'm. There's this one channel that I go back to every often, and they have discussions about everything that's going on, and today it was the boy that went up and was punching the teacher, and surprisingly, but thankfully, I was seeing in the chat, because as I was listening, I try not to comment there, because they're very passionate about their beliefs, and but in the comments, they finally started saying what was going through my head was they need Jesus, and because they were going over, and so it was really good that they were going over.
Sorry to interrupt. I just had a quick. Sorry, they were doing. I was going to ask you a question, but go ahead. What were they?
They were going over how the Black communities are mostly fatherless. The father is not in the home,
right?
And that these kids are growing up where they are, and
that's not for just that community. That's affecting them the most. But there are other communities affected by that as well, because they're intentionally trying to break up the family. But anyway, go ahead.
Yes, and this channel is a Black community, and so that's why I go to listen to them to see if they are seeing what we're seeing about how they're trying to create the division with the race, and I did see people in there that were, yeah, but we should be backing the trans movement,
No, that's
Palestine, whatever.
well, that's
And
part of the
I was like,
yeah.
gosh.
It,
And so
and my go ahead.
there is divided. I mean, I don't know if you'd call it divided, but
Oh no, they're
if
definitely divided
it's
from what it sounds like, because
going
you
to
get these
be,
one guys who want to back the trans community whose whole goal is just to separate everybody. And I'm not saying necessarily all of them are that way, but by and large, the movement appears to just be,
they're
give an inch, take a mile. I personally think it's wrong, and they shouldn't live that way. But it's their life; they are free to choose to live as they want, whether I think it's wrong or not.
until they start having these shows at places where there are children, and that's what
Yeah,
I believe it is.
the drag time story hour, because they're trying to destroy the
Yes,
kids and the family. See
yes,
the whole that whole movement. I think, and I could be wrong, but the whole alphabet soup, we'll call it, all I think ties into the transhumanism, because
I got the Son of Jesus.
God, you know, uh, so if they destroy that, then there's nothing for them to save, because they're not, they're going to try to make them non-human and change it up, and then
It's just an
you know,
abomination. That's all it is. It's a mental
no, it is,
illness. It's an
yeah,
abomination
gender dysphoria.
trying to force us
It's
to
usually how it
accept
starts. Yeah,
that they're trying to
no,
force
it
us
is.
to accept. And
Yep.
no, not going to.
Yeah, I don't hate the people, but because they say, oh well, you just feel that way, everybody.
No,
I'll tell you,
keep
I'll
moving
tell you if it's wrong. I'll tell you it's wrong, and what about that. But what you choose to that for living your life, that's between you and God.
yes, but at the same time, it's not something that you publicly display. What if we were all going around publicly displaying our sexual anything, preferences, or what we're doing, or anything?
Well, that's stuff that's supposed to be in private. That's not something you do in public. That's just
Yes,
immoral, and
that's what I'm saying. That they have publicized it so
right. No,
much,
of course.
throats, and trying to make us accept it as
Well,
normal.
and that's in part due to the fact that, and again, I could be wrong, maybe not, but I think they've been turned over in most cases to a depraved mind, so they're just confused and lost, and just uh, insane, I guess, because they've been at that for so long and had so many opportunities to turn around. At some point, they just get turned over to a depraved mind, and they're just left to their own devices, which is unfortunate.
Oh my goodness.
But your choices have consequences.
Yeah.
It's raining over here where I'm driving.
What state are you in?
I'm in Indiana, heading for Ohio, over near Fort Wayne, up in the northeast
Yep.
Of Indiana. Wind blowing in the background.
We'll just pray this doesn't touch our soil.
Excuse me. So, anybody else got any comments,
Thank-
questions? Or-
Well, I think our other two guests have deserted us.
to me, but and can't figure out how to unmute it. I'm not sure. You still there, Gigi? Or she fell asleep?
I think I have seen him, man. Her husband came in, so she's having to be quiet. Oh no. And that's
I don't know.
so Gigi was wanting to give her beliefs, what she goes by. And
One,
I didn't get to we didn't get it into the whole thing because
Yeah, I heard part. You got through part of it, but
yes.
when you got to the flood part and some of the other stuff, I wanted to just somewhat take a minute and explain it. But
And I appreciate that. Here, babe. Sorry.
No, you're
We
good.
had to have it a little there.
Yeah, I heard the little in the background. Yeah, I don't know. They
Well,
must have stepped out for a minute. I thought they were still here, but
yes. And all this stuff that conservative Cowboys putting up, everything that's going on.
everything.
Gigi was saying stay positive, and I understand that, but at the same time, we need to watch how we react to any of this news, any of the things that are going on.
Well,
And
yeah, and that's where it comes in because I would think it appears that the world is falling apart, going absolutely insane, and has lost its ever-loving mind. It is probably venture to say how most people probably see it if they don't have faith in Christ in this case.
right, but at the same time, you should have a plan. Each family should have a plan.
Yeah, no, I mean, being
Gonna
prepared,
meet up.
and
Yeah,
having your plans is important. Absolutely.
it's where they're gonna meet up if things get crazy. It's how they're
Well,
gonna.
and depending on what happens when things go
Well,
crazy,
and that,
you may be
that's
able
what
to
I'm
meet up
talking.
with them. You may be able to meet up with them, maybe not.
Exactly. And so that's what I'm talking about is if there's no communications, if there's no power, and if things are going nuts, how can you get your family together? Do you think that with this news coming out, you should start working on getting your family together now? And
Well,
it's
you should, or at least have plans to meet up and ways to attempt communication. That should be something you already have set up, or have it set up. Set it up as soon as you can. Like
yes,
case in point, with my family, I've got plans. I've got things set up where, hey, if I'm in the area and something goes down, in our local town, this is where we're going to meet, and then we'll go do whatever.
right.
If
But
I'm
if you're
not,
not all in,
if I'm out of town, I said, okay, we're going to meet at this other location over here where we live,
yes, it's
and,
always
and
good.
we're going to meet at those locations. Where the rubber meets the road, the rub, as it were, is depending on what happens and what part of the country I'm in at any given moment. Because of what
Exactly.
I do, that may work, it may not. Or even if I happen to be closer in, say, central or northwestern Illinois, where I could get back to them, depending on what happened, that could take a few hours. It could take a few weeks, depending on whether you're
And that's
driving, riding, or walking.
that's where each person should have three different locations: plan A, plan B, plan C. And then also how to get there without going on any major highways if you do need to move. If you're alone by yourself, it would be a good idea to get family with you or friends, neighbors,
Yeah, I was gonna
people.
say traveling in a situation like that, traveling in groups is your best. Large.
Oh, and
It,
sitting in groups is your best too. You don't want to be
well,
alone
honestly,
if it gets
having a plan is good. Like I said, but most people are going to have a plan. Okay, we're going to try to get out of the city and go out to the middle of nowhere. Well, that's what most everybody's going to want to do. Is some will actually stay in town and bug in, as it were, stay in place local. Others, I venture to say 90% are all going to try to go out into the boonies, the middle of nowhere, where all the woods and farmland and everything else is, and get away from the cities if they can, and end up stuck on the highways and the
and
back
I
roads, because they're not all going to want to. They're like, oh well, we should take the back roads because no one thought of that. And then you get a 10-mile long line of cars going down country roads.
yes.
Is this
I
Mike?
mean,
So you,
Is this Mike?
and that's where you get to know your area really well, because
yeah.
there's other roads that are
Hold
not
on, I
marked.
think Black wanted to make a comment.
Oh, I just wondered if this mic is all right.
Yeah,
Yes.
it sounds okay. We can hear you.
The point is, what you're saying, meat puppet, more or less, should there be a fire in the house? Where do you meet? That I agree with that. But
Yeah.
you want a perfect example of what Gigi was talking about? I watched about a 2-hour thing today, and the whole point of it was, and it was serious, what to do with your house with nuclear fallout. Like you're supposed to put saran wrap around it. I've never heard anything more ridiculous in my life, quite honestly.
Yeah, well, depending on where you're located and where the blast happens.
No, but listen to what you're saying. Come on,
Well,
this is
no, look, saran wrap is not going to help. Period. End of story.
Since 1945 that they ever drop a bomb. Do you know what happened with Hiroshima? The only thing
Absolutely
was the mountains. The whole thing's
right.
gone. It's ridiculous to talk about it. It's something to be avoided at all costs.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It should be avoided. But in the event that something like that went off, let's say they dropped, most likely they would drop them in the major cities like New York, Miami, Chicago, Atlanta, Dallas, LA, Seattle, all your major centers.
But in all seriousness, I'll go out and watch.
You would think that.
I'll go out and watch the pretty lights.
You would think that, Big Puppet. But I think that it would be more strategic to hit the rural areas and take out the food supplies that are out and force everybody into the city to contain them.
Well, depending on who, it's a possibility that they could do it that way, sure. Is it likely?
Oh my God.
Probably not. It really depends on, are they trying to kill more people, or are they trying to kill the food and then let the people die slowly? It just depends on who's attacking and what their game plan is.
As we can tell from the last 5 years,
if they wanted to be more strategic, and not launch, 10 nukes over America, you could realistically cover the nukes. You cover the entirety of the U.S. Or a good majority of it in fallout and EMPs to knock out the electronics and just let themselves apart.
Okay, sorry. I just want to say one thing. If we start
Squirrel.
blowing
Go ahead.
off, if we start blowing off nukes around the world, there's going to be no more Earth. The amount of nukes we have on this planet,
I've
whatever
been
we
trying
start
to
doing,
say
but hey,
I've been trying to say this, Yugi, for the last 10 minutes. The idea
Well,
of the existence
too
of
bad.
the World War. Oh my God.
You shush.
I mean, that's
Extraterrestrials are not going to allow nuclear bombs to go off anymore because the repercussions across the whole universe. There's tons of them want to press a button just because their ego and everything else. I can blow you up. I can blow you up. This is ridiculous. When are we going to grow up and learn? Like, no more of this killing. It's got to stop. We got to get rid of every bomb on this world. We have to get rid of every gun, every nuke,
That's not going to happen.
Crap. Yes, it will.
Goodness.
It might take 10, 20 more years, but it's going to happen.
Respectfully, if you think that's going to happen in 20 years, you're mistaken.
Well, see, I live in Canada.
Look,
I've never even seen a gun. I have never seen a gun. I've never seen anybody walk around with a gun or anything.
Listen.
The states are loaded with guns.
Yes, we are.
Yep.
And I hope they do get rid of the weapons, but more realistically, it's not. There's too many ego-driven people who want to wipe out this guy or that guy for whatever reason. It's not going to happen. Now, what were you going to say, Black?
No, it's a simple thing. They look at movies, you look at everything else. Well, you ever see Matthew Broderick in that movie when the computer comes back and says, "How about a nice game of tic-tac-toe?" That's the beginning and end of nuclear war.
Yeah, war games, yeah.
No, but the whole point is, do you know the beginning of the nuclear test? You know what they were terrified of? That the entire Earth's air would light up into a ball of fire, which it didn't. But it might as well. This idea that life after nuclear war, you could have been watching too many bloody movies. There is no world after nuclear war.
Exactly.
I mean,
there's not much of one.
I watched 2 hours of bloody let's prep for life after nuclear war, and they were serious. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to the Ozark Mountains because the air up there is too thin. You got to be kidding me. You really?
It's not too bad in the Ozarks, but
you know what happened with Pearl Harbor? The Joint Chiefs of Staff got together and said, "How many men are we going to lose?" 5,600. So science came along and said, "I'll kill 1 million for you," to say 5,600. A few 100,000 went. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous conversation. I thought we were going to talk about something else, but until this came up, I thought it was a joke.
We weren't.
I thought it was a joke.
But we can see.
We
can see from Hawaii, they don't need to use nuclear weapons. There will not be nuclear weapons. I don't believe.
My point, but why?
They have far more. They have far more
dangerous weapons,
efficient weapons than nukes.
That they do.
Yeah.
They've got weapons that, if what I've heard is right, that could take out all the organics and leave the infrastructure intact. No problem.
Why talk about this? We're a collective world. Take out any part of it, and we're all going to die. This whole thing is to me. It's
more than likely what's going to happen. In reality, more than likely what's going to happen in the near future, based on what I've read with prophecy, a lot of destruction, sure, nukes, other than maybe Damascus, which is questionable how that gets destroyed. as far as what weaponry. But
If we start using all that
For sure.
weaponry, we're all gone. It's not
well, yeah,
going to happen.
it's called mutually assured destruction.
The earth is
launching
going to go
nukes.
through changes. That's the destruction that's coming. There's going to be all kinds of quakes and everything that's going to ruin all kinds of shit. We're all going to have to deal with it and go back to basics. Mother Nature is not happy. That's the energy. That's what we're doing. We're ruining the earth. We're fighting and killing each other, whatever, and it's going to stop because we can't go with this anymore.
It is going to get worse, earthquakes and all the like, but it's not because of Mother Nature. It's because of God.
God has not. Sorry.
But look, you can disagree. I'm not saying. Look, Gigi, I'm not saying.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're saying.
You have
I know.
to agree.
I get it.
I'm just saying that's how I see it.
Right. But all I'm trying to say is God made all this creation and it went free will, here you go, because whatever you're doing, I feed off of it. I learn from whatever, because he's a creator. We go out there, we create for him. It is us that's creating the wars. It is us that's creating the negativity. It is us that's doing all of this. God has nothing to do with it but to be there for us and accept us for who we are. He doesn't intervene in anything. Nothing does he intervene on.
Respectfully, I disagree. He intervenes in everything.
No. How do we learn anything if God were to intervene all the time? He said, here, I give you life. I give you free will. Create whatever you want to create.
Right. We still have free will to choose to do what we want, but he already knows because he exists outside of time and space.
No, he does not exist outside. He is inside everything. He's inside of you, me, the plants, the trees, the planet, the universe. He is all. I am that I am. He is everything, which is how he knows all and senses all, but he does not change what's going to happen.
No, he knows everything because he's outside of time and space. And so he sees the end from the beginning. He knows what's going to happen because he's already seen it.
If he's outside time and space, how did he create the world? That's a neat trick.
When he decided to create Earth, Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, he said, let there be, and there was. And in that moment, there's a YouTube video. You can go look it up. A guy explains it far better than.
I'm going to tell you something. I don't go by YouTube videos, okay? No.
But he explains. It.
Video.
All I'm trying to say.
Video where I won the Powerball. You know what? It wasn't true. Dude.
Right. But here's the thing. This is basically God, when he spoke it into being, he created time, space, and matter all at the same time. Because if you have, let's say you have matter, well, time, space, and matter. So if you do,
there is no time. Sorry. Everything happens at once. Everything's going at once. We are a multi-universe and parallel realities. Sorry.
Yeah, take your time and put it against the string theory and see how far you get with that one. Time's fluid. It's relevant.
So you're going on the science of it. Like what?
Yeah, well, there's a science. As I tried to start the beginning of this, I got a friend who, I'm not going to mention names, through what he went through in a thing of faith. And you know something, Bonnie? It's not popular, but it hit me something. I never thought of it in all my years until that night. You want to hear it? It's not going to be very popular, but it's possible. It's up to you. It never occurred to me. Never occurred to me till that night. And I'm not saying it's truth, okay? Would you like to hear it?
Are you saying that's when you lost your faith?
Pardon? Sorry?
Are you saying that's when you lost your faith?
I lost it before that. Remember when we had the discussion a couple of years ago? It happened prior
Yes.
to that. November the 7th, 2021. That's when that happened. And I know why. But if a thing occurred to me, and it's not going to be popular, would you like to hear it or not? It's just, I'm not saying I believe it. I'm not saying it's true, but I had never
Oh,
considered,
just spit it out, will you?
because of
I'm
what
putting them up in the out, Jack.
Gigi said, portions of the Bible and things left out. And I never thought of this, Gigi, till you said, would you like to hear it or not?
I guess everybody heard me munching on no. Sorry, y'all.
It's not going to be very popular. Consider this, because this is the process I went through of logic. If you look at control, maybe the Roman Empire, particularly the southern parts of the states during slavery and everything, would you agree that they create a subculture to control a large number of people?
Yes.
Would you agree with that?
I said yes.
Okay. No, I didn't hear anybody else. Okay, but so be it. So the most ancient language is Hebrew, is it not? And you look at it, it goes all the way back, the First Testament and everything else. What if it's only 1% of the world's population, because there's 2.1 billion Christians? What if you were to think, I don't believe that's the Messiah, right? It's going to arrive in a political form of whatever my own beliefs. But I'm not going to convert these kind of people. So what if I agree that is the Messiah? What if I let 2.1 billion people believe that's the Messiah? But if I go and give them another God, that's sacrilege, right? So we got to give them our God, which starts the Second Testament. So are Christians just being controlled by the Jews?
Thank you. Because I have said that. What if the evil ones are using the Bible against us? What if they are creating what looks like revelations to control us, whatever it is?
No, but could it
Is
be?
it another form of making us believe that this is the...
Could the they that you speak of be the ones that wrote the First Testament? Think about it.
Okay, hold our thought. I just want to throw this in. Now, when Jesus was around, after his so many years of being away and learning and all that and coming about and whatever, they were the ones that said he was the king of the Jews, and he denies he's the king of the Jews. He didn't want to be around any kind of religion. He was not a religion, but the Romans made him the religion in the Bible. But they took out certain parts of it because they didn't like it. They wanted to be able to control the masses. Everything is always about the control of the masses. Jesus had the right knowledge. He is an ascended master, same as Buddha, same as the other ones that are up there. They figured out the whole thing, and we're sitting here going, we can't get this nowhere because if we don't believe in him, we can't get there. No, he was telling you, be like me, love one another. Everything, higher vibration, be positive, be loving, and whatever else.
You can
the
be
key.
positive all you want, where it's not going to accomplish anything. I can think positive thoughts all. I can think positive thoughts all day. Yeah, I'm positive. Most people are absolutely freaking insane. I could have all kinds of positive thoughts. It's unfortunately being positive is not going to accomplish anything.
Sure it does.
Janet.
It makes you live your life happily. I want to get up every day and go, oh, miserable.
No, I'm not saying you have to. I'm not saying you have to be miserable. by any stretch. You can choose to have whatever emotions you like, but firstly, Jesus was God. Jesus was not an ascended master or
Jesus
any of
is the
the
same
other
as
myriad of
all of us.
theories.
We all have God inside of us.
Oh
That's
no,
what he was
no,
trying
respectfully,
to
we do
show us
not.
all. Well, yeah, I know. That's okay.
But
He was the same like
We are,
everybody was
every
trying to be a
human
higher
is going to
being.
be judged,
You know what I
I
find?
think.
You know what I find interesting? So many say God's got us, Jesus has got us, as they walk around their town wearing a sidearm and carrying a fighting knife. Jesus,
Because it's
that's a lot of faith, right? You see my point?
because it's we know that we have to do what we have to do also. It's not, you cannot
it's
just sit back and say God's got this and just sit there and wait on him.
You know
You
what that
have to be able to
you know
protect yourself and your family.
what that is
And that's why I disagree with Gigi's all the weapons need to go, the guns, the everything.
yeah,
No,
but
I
here's
just
How do you get peace until you have gotten rid of every weapon? You can't have
you could
peace
get
how
rid
until
of.
did
you
that
get rid of
work?
all the weapons.
Hold on,
How did
There's
that
I
work?
been many civilizations before us have lived without guns and
you,
blowing each other up. Many.
How did that work
you
out for Germany?
you know what would happen, Gigi?
Didn't.
You go back and you'd have some guy that's 6'4" and he'd pick up a jawbone of an asp or something, beat the hell out of you. What does it matter if the guns are gone? That's
right.
what that's what was there.
On that, I
Because of
agree
a
with
bad
Black
attitude.
because
Why is that person like that in the first place? That's
well,
what we have to
that
look
goes
at.
back.
Why? Hang on.
It
Why
must
are
have been
we all
something.
Whoa.
It was
Why are we all acting and wanting to kill each other and beat each other up all the time, constantly? Why?
probably the Walmart greeter didn't say it right. You know, it's a joke. It's because it's in us. It's in
We
us.
don't want to walk around and
No,
beat
it's
up
been
each other
taught
and
to us.
kill each other all the time.
It's been
Where'd you
taught
get
to us.
that? I can tell you just about every Texan has a gun. They don't go walking around
The,
waiting to beat somebody up or kill them. It does not
No.
happen.
And that's not what I'm saying, though,
Rid of
Bonnie.
this ideology.
No. What I'm saying is because the fact that because you don't see there's nobody in Canada that walks around with a gun. Nobody. That's where we kind of go. The States have this way of living and the Canada lives this way of living. It's the whole idea of it being on yourself and being prepared for something that's going to happen. That's
look,
the
you
whole
could get.
hang on. Let me finish. You're walking around all the time because you think something's going to happen. So therefore, is there something going to happen? You're walking around with a gun on you all the time. Who's going to come after you? Who's going to shoot you? Who's going to whatever? You're living in fear. It's just back to the same thing. You should not have to live in fear.
It's got nothing to do.
It's not living in fear.
What do you need a gun
living,
for?
It's living knowing that there's evil people out there and you're making sure that they don't get to you and yours. Period. That's all.
To
It's
put
not
it simply,
But that's saying you're expecting them to come to your front door.
fear.
Because
Do you think it's not happening?
it's called.
Look at
It's called. Well, if I may, it's called being prepared. One, you don't expect a fire to break out, but you have fire extinguishers and other items in your house to stop a fire from spreading should one break out. Yes,
true.
but you're not you're not hoping. Oh God, what am I going to do? I've got a fire. You know, it could break out at any minute. You're not all freaking out. You got your stuff. You're prepared, and it should have break out. You've got the stuff to put it out. Same
or
thing
the
with
brains of something else other than a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, or something else. Absolutely. But the point is you got something. Should a fire break out, you're prepared, and you can put it out. Same thing with weapons. You have.
I don't expect anybody to come to my home and do anything.
Hold on, I'll let you finish. Let me finish.
Yep.
Having the weapon doesn't mean you're living in fear or expecting someone to come up and try to rob you, and you have to shoot them and or potentially kill them. No, you're prepared. You have it if you need it, but you hope that you never have to use it, which is why you train. You
Absolutely.
be proficient, be ready, and hope that you never have to use it. You're not trying to be afraid. You're just prepared. Should a situation arise where you need said weapon. But to the broader point, you could eliminate all weapons tomorrow. Push a magic button. Boom. No more weapons. Thinking happy, happy, joy, joy, shots, all in a pile of shit out in the woods for all of eternity. People, by their very nature, are not good. The first murder was committed with a rock. You don't
That's
need
what I was
guns
going to say.
for
Sticks
for
and
people to do
stones.
that.
Thank you.
It's in the nature
Right. If
ever
a
since.
person is that way, they are that way.
Yes.
Every person's that way. It just, some of
No,
us
then.
have.
No, not every person is that way. I couldn't hurt somebody. I'd rather be dead than have to turn around and kill somebody, which is why I didn't become a cop. It's like, can I live
I
with
don't
that?
think
No.
it's an instinct in humanity to go around killing people. That's
Right.
for sure.
it's an
All I-
instinct in humanity to go around raping children. I don't think it's an instinct of humanity to just try to destroy everything in sight. I think that these are things that
The best way I can describe it is a fallen nature. Our nature, ever since early on in the creation of man, we screwed up, got kicked out of the garden, and so
But hang
now
on.
we're living with the fallen nature.
Why is the States the only country that walks around with guns on them?
We're not. There are other countries that have guns. You think the
Such
criminals
as?
follow the laws and don't have weapons?
Such as? I don't know of any other country that carries guns on them.
have you been to Iran or Iraq or
Okay,
any
we're
of the
talking a whole,
China,
yeah, but you're talking the terrorists,
Asia.
not the actual people that live there. They don't have guns walking around on them. You're talking about terrorists and stuff.
Do you want me
Yeah,
to
but
give
whether
you-
it's a criminal or just the actual population,
Well, okay, that's
Australia-
my whole point. It's criminals.
Australia-
It's terrible people that are carrying weapons on them to kill others.
oh my
It
goodness.
shouldn't be the common person and the common everywhere that carries a gun on them, is all I'm trying to say. Because
Australia
you have a
used
gun
to
on them,
before they banned their weapons.
you are expecting something to happen. You're already putting the negative out there.
You're not expecting
you're not
anything to
following
happen.
what you're not following what
No,
I'm
no,
trying to say.
I'm following what you're trying to say. You're saying because I have a gun, I'm automatically thinking negative and something bad's going to happen.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
that's not the case. No.
Then you shouldn't
What
need
I'm-
it.
Well, I have the
Lawless
weapon.
people.
Well, then you shouldn't have your fire. You know what? Fires, just think positive thoughts. Fires are not going to happen. Get rid of all your equipment that would help you put out a fire because you don't need it. Fires aren't going to break out. You got your positive thoughts, right? It's not going to happen. You're
Fires
thinking
can
negative.
be actually very helpful for the environment. They need to
Okay,
happen.
cool. So you're gonna get rid of all
there's
your
lots
fire
out there,
equipment.
but what's that got to do with our
You-
conversation?
You know,
That has nothing to do with this conversation.
Gigi,
having
A
Let it
gun
go.
and a fire is two different things.
let it go.
No.
Gigi. They have never done what you're talking about since the inception of the United
I know.
States.
No, excuse me. Australia got rid of all their weapons and all their crimes and everything else went down. If people were actually look up that stuff, guns are a mindset. Everything is a mindset. You got to realize everything is control. Everything we do and think has been drained into us or whatever since we were born in this world the way it is, and we all need to change the mindset of it. We shouldn't have to walk around with guns. We shouldn't have to have nuclear bombs to try to get
shouldn't,
along.
but a broken, fallen world where we have to be prepared to protect ourselves. So we hope those who carry weapons, we hope that they never have to use them. But if they have them, they are prepared. Just like you're prepared should a fire ever break out, even though you hope and pray and have
Yeah,
the equipment
enough.
and tools to put it out. It's just about simply
wanna
being
know-
prepared. Nothing more, nothing less. You're not brandishing,
JJ,
walking
Sorry?
around saying, "Oh, look at me." You're just doing your business, and if you need one, you've got the tool.
Yeah. I'll never buy a gun. It'll never be in my home. I have
Well,
no use for it.
we're not saying Gigi has to buy a gun
No, I
or
know.
should have a
It's
gun. We're just
everybody's
saying
choice. Yeah, I get it.
a weapon is a tool. The problem is not the
May I?
tool. The problem is the person using said tool. Yes, Miss Bonnie, please go ahead.
Thank you. You know, when I started carrying in Texas, not far from me, a Luby's, one person walked in with a gun and started shooting people, families sitting there eating dinner. Nobody had a gun to stop him.
I get
That's
it.
when I started,
I get it.
because
But
no way,
same,
if I would have been anywhere near there, would he have hurt more than one person?
and if guns weren't around, he wouldn't have been able to walk in there and shoot people. And if he had a problem and we take care of those things, we would find out what was wrong and we would do that in the first place.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, if no guns were around, he couldn't have walked in and did that.
No, he would have walked in and stabbed him or slashed him.
Well, that's a hell of a lot easier to take down than somebody who's shooting bolts off every few seconds, is it not?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
No.
Somebody's taking
At
a
least
knife
I
to
don't think
somebody,
so.
and there's a whole bunch of other people around. They couldn't take him down. Come on, you can take somebody down
Eventually,
with
sure,
a knife
but-
compared to a gun.
But how many times are you going to get stabbed or slashed before you can get that knife out of the guy's hand?
You punch him in the
And
throat.
why? Okay, in the first place, we should be finding out why people are acting like this in the first place.
Well, that all
The
goes
way
back to
we're
the fallen
brought
nature
up,
of
the
man.
way we're taught.
The way
Why
you're
are people
taught.
acting out and committing suicide or committing atrocities and going in somewhere and shooting people? What is wrong with society? That's what
What's
we
wrong
should be
with
looking at.
Well, it's a very simple.
And that
reason,
was why I was going to do the show about behavior.
Yeah.
Well,
Basic
it's not,
Behavior. There's
That'll
so
be
many
the-
crappy parents out there right now. Sorry.
behavior matters, but again, it
No.
goes back to the fallen nature of man. Man is imperfect, for lack of a better word, evil, because nobody is perfect, and there are who willingly and readily would, no matter what kind of weapon they had, would do harm to others just because they could.
Which could open a whole new can of worms. Who created evil?
Humans.
Really? Is Lucifer not the angel of evil? And did he not exist prior to man?
Go back
He
to
did.
caveman. They all think they were all scared of all kinds of things that they didn't know what it was. They all thought something was evil because, they couldn't understand it. That's the way I look at it.
To tell you the truth,
Yes.
Gigi, when
Why is what he said, and that's when they do it, when they're in prayer. They will go after the Christians when they're in prayer because they know what time they go in prayer.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrible.
Yeah, unfortunately,
I'm
this
sorry.
world is filled with a lot of horrid crap. But in a sense, we let it all build up this way. Crap on TV. Once upon a time, TV was great. Now it's filth on TV.
Yeah, that's by design. People want to break apart the family and destroy society so that they can try to rebuild their version of utopia, and are willing to do whatever it takes to do so.
Hey, Echo, good to see you.
Hey, Echo. And as much as I would love to debate some more, I'm like already an hour past what I said I'd be on here. I'm one of those that works 5 days a week. So I must go.
All right, we'll have fun. We'll talk to you another time.
Yep, no problem. Everybody have a wonderful night. Love yous, Bonnie. Mwah. Black Watch,
Love you,
take care.
GT. Thanks for coming up.
Thank God tomorrow's Friday. I have the weekend off.
There you
Email
go.
me whenever you want, Bonnie, Black Watch.
Enjoy your weekend. Love you.
Will do.
Got lipstick in my ear again. Will you kiss
Yep.
the
And just remember, Gigi, please remember the gentleman that was sitting on your porch when you walked outside to go to the garage. Just keep that in mind.
Yes,
Okay.
and I handled it very well, and there was nothing to be afraid of. He didn't have a gun on him.
Yeah, but you got a great idea, Gigi, but that means you like I'll tell you, it was June the 30th, I don't know how many years ago, and the guy decided he's going to break into my mom's house. And I'll tell you, when the gun came through the door, if I had a Glock, I would empty the entire clip into his face and faced God himself and said, "Let me do it again." That's a God's honest truth. I would have blown it
Yep.
in an
I
instant.
suppose, yep. Yeah, and I know I saw that little news clip that they melted all down and whatever else. It's sad. Like,
Because he thought it was not there, that there's something inside that he should have.
so
It's
I was
his
talking
right.
about the gold that was being melted down for guns.
Thank you.
Anyways, I gotta go. I gotta hit my bed. Love yous all. God bless. Stay safe.
Bye.
Be
Love you
positive.
too. Good night.
Think
Good.
positive.
We are positive.
Yep.
You-
And
you
speak
know what?
positive. Yep.
You know how blessed we are that we don't have bombs going off
Exactly.
constantly.
Yep.
That's
Then
not,
we
that's
don't
not till
mother-
next week.
My mother and father were
Armed
from Germany and
military.
Denmark, and they came to Canada, and I'm very happy they came to Canada.
And put the
There are
The
people who
the
live
bombs are scheduled
days.
till the third Tuesday of next month.
and put the damn cat out this time, will you?
All right. No.
Good night.
Night, Juju.
She has a point of culture. I'm going to tell you a little story a number of years ago. This whole thing about Israel and that. There's somebody that came in. I got banned. That's another thing on an IT channel. And this guy's in Israel. MSP, Microsoft Service Provider.
True, Huckleberry.
Anyway, we got 2 hours at the end of it. And this guy wanted us to change what finally worked. So it kind of calmed down. It worked, right? And he says, Zavi, what's the climate like over there? You know what the man said? The political climate? And everybody said, no. What's the weather like? That's how they think. That's day-to-day life. The political climate. Small wonder Israel is blowing the hell out of everybody, isn't it? Just saying.
Yes, Echo. Conservative cowboy was here. What'd you just say, people? Israel. Okay, first of all, they have been fighting over there since
About 2,500 years, roughly.
Before Israel was
take.
Israel.
Abraham and his two jealous sons
Yeah.
started warring with each other. That's how long that's been going on.
Yeah.
It's nothing new, but because of the media, the exactly what I was talking about earlier. I have seen pictures where they are showing the same pictures from 2017 now, and saying this happened today. Oh my gosh. And so we don't know if we are even getting the correct news out of these countries. We don't know what is going on.
There's a
over
good
there.
chance you're not, depending on where you get it from, but more than likely it's safer to assume you're not and try to verify.
So a lot of disinformation.
What
a
in
lot
the hell? Hold on a second. I got to deal with something real quick. Hold on.
But you're right. You're right. You're right, Bonnie, about the two of them. You know what I think? And it's a little bit fantasy. You ever seen The Ultimate Fight Club? Should have taken Israel and Palestine, locked them in there and said, let us know who wins. Because it's going on forever.
Yep.
Forever.
It has been going on for a long time.
Just isolate
And we
them,
have
not
no control over that. But why are we stepping in now? Why
wanna know
now?
what? I got the answer to that one. You know what's driving, in my opinion, the United States involvement? All
What?
the money that's by
Money.
interest in the United States. Sachs Goldman. Should we go down?
Every war brings money.
No. I mean the money in because of the religion, Bonnie, the Jewish religion. I should have said, look, you're American. You whatever religion you want, great, but we're not funding some foreign country to have war forever. In my opinion,
But they will.
it's Sachs Goldman. It's all them going after lobbying against the government, saying you got to step in. Our motherland's your motherland's here. That's my opinion. That's my personal. Let them fight and fund their own stuff. When was Israel ever an ally of the United States or anybody else and went to war with them? Would somebody explain that to me? When did Israel ever made up an ally in any war? Give me one.
One more that what? I'm sorry. I was
Well,
reading
the United
comments.
States keeps going on about Israel being an ally. Ally in what? What war were they an ally in? Just one.
No. So what they've done is made Israel to be the Israel of the Bible. And so all of these Christian people, that's always their desire to go over to Israel, to the Holy Land, is their belief that they are going to the Holy Land.
I know
That's
it-
why there's so many that are backing Israel. But it's
that you're exactly right. Exactly right.
Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. I had to take care of trying to find a parking spot possibly for a minute.
I don't
After I
think
fix
the state of
my truck.
Israel is the place. I don't know. I mean, I watched this one guy. He did a tour of the temple. In this temple was the exact spot where they hung Jesus. It's very ceremonial in there. It's very interesting to me, but
Okay.
I don't know about all that. And why do we have so many dual citizens in the government? Why is everyone a dual citizenship with Israel? What
Exactly. I mean, I remember when the British North America Act was still involved, through North America, England, Australia. 1967, Canadians said, let's have the kids create a new flag. I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a little prank. They were getting rid of the British North America Act at the same time. They never put it out there. By 1981, it was gone. So no more dual citizenship. I don't know if that's right or wrong.
No, they still have it in our government.
No, but I'm saying whether it's right or wrong, I don't know. But the thing is, I would say because you didn't have to belong to the Commonwealth, it's all voluntary. But if you were British and you were Canadian and you were Australian, I kind of see it the same bowl of soup, so to speak. But between American and Israeli, that's a little far-fetched. Where's your allegiance lie? That's a great concern. That's what I'm saying. That's a
Yes,
concern.
exactly. And or is it an escape? I don't know. It is about allegiance.
Well, consider this. You're talking about the holy places, places of Jesus Christ, the place of crucifixion and everything else. Then why did you put those that don't believe it in charge of it? Think about it.
Yep. Good
Probably because they're
question.
the ones who paid the most money.
Yeah, well, I hate to say it. If you look at BlackRock, who do you think founded it? Go check it out. Who do you think founded it?
If I had to venture a guess, I'm going to say a Jewish person, probably.
Name Fisk. Yes.
Zionist.
Jewish.
Right, y'all. I hate to close this down, but I have to
Nope.
because
You're good because I'm
I'm-
gonna have to go find a parking spot soon. So yeah, closing it down works for me.
I'm gonna have to make sure my granddaughter's okay, see if she's asleep, and do some stuff. I have things to do.
There's
But
always stop.
this turned into a whole different conversation than I expected. But I appreciate y'all coming up and giving your views on what you think, and
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad I could explain a few things, and it was always interesting to debate.
yes.
Mhm.
But in the
I'm not
end,
always as
we're all
prepared as
in
I'd
this
like to
together.
be, but you know.
Whether we want to be or not, we're all in this together. And so that's just it, that we can have these debates and still walk away friends.
Yeah.
That's Gigi and Will and you, Meat Puppet. Everybody wants to
Yeah.
just kill each other. No.
I
Well,
think
and that's just because I'm a little more old school in that you know we can agree to disagree agreeably.
Yes.
I think we all want the same thing. It's not realistic, unfortunately.
Oh yeah,
You know,
exactly. It's not.
it's just never
It'd be
been.
nice if it was, you know, but
Yes, it would.
until Christ comes back, unfortunately, we're gonna have to deal with the broken world until then.
That's right. So I am gonna play a song out, and
And I'm gonna hop off and go look for parking. But y'all have fun. We'll catch you on the next one.
Okay. Thanks for
thank
having
you,
me,
Meat.
Bonnie. And
Good night.
I'll leave you
Yep.
with that.
All right.
Thank you, Blue Watch,
Yep.
and you have a good night also.
Later.
Okay. Later. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye. See if I can find the song. Did I save it up here? Is it still in my mute? Nope, there it is. Okay, back to here. Play y'all a song. Thank you all for coming and joining us. I really appreciate it. Love the comments. Here we go. My granddaughter in here just dancing her heart out. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Might be back up again Saturday to do the one that I was going to do tonight, since I hadn't heard from Gigi. Hope y'all like it. And thank you for giving me the channels that you've been sharing. I appreciate that. I do listen to some of them. Y'all have a good night. Thank you so much. God bless you. We got to stick together. Good night, y'all.